On today's episode of WatchJRGo, ladies and gentlemen, you asked for it. I said we were going to wrap up the Yugo project, but there were so many comments asking us to keep going on this thing that I think we have to. What is going on, guys? I am WatchJRGo, and today, like I said, we are back with the Yugo GV, and today we are gonna do one thing. We have one simple mission here with this car. In the last episode, of course, we got this thing running and running pretty well to the point where it would stay running and running on its own fuel pump, which was cool. But, oh, did I leave the hood open? I don't know if I did. Let's go ahead. Can't tell if the hood's open or not. Let's go ahead and get the hood open here, and today we are going to make sure the door is shut, and then we're going to pull the carburetor off this thing and go tear it down. So luckily I hadn't gone too far and we haven't reassembled everything yet, but obviously we got that new starter in there and we got the fuel pump working really well, and this thing actually runs great on all 4 cylinders, which is cool. But the carburetor is the next real issue. So first of all, let's sneak in here and take some documentation so I have like an idea of what vacuum lines go where, and make sure I get that little guy, or a few little guys back there, and then everything over here. So now we've got some docs on what goes where, and I think all we have to do is start pulling. The problem is all these lines are old. Look at that. That's rubber and it won't move. Wow. I should have put gloves on, because this is how you get all the skin ripped off your hand pulling these old lines off. But we're gonna get every line pulled off of this carburetor, even this fuel line that should come right off because I just put it on there. You'd think it would have came right off. What a fight. Already doing it. All right, I'm gonna go put on gloves. Otherwise, I won't come out. I'll be at the ER before this is over. All of this is gonna be a pain. But there's a little progress. Please don't break. Please don't break again. All this stuff's old and brittle, you know, and I bet replacements aren't exactly the easiest to get, even though they're available. Ooh, that guy right there does not return very well. Honestly, none of the carburetor on this thing works well. It all just sort of works. The return's dry again. Didn't last long. All right, I think we've got everything off of here for the most part, except for this vacuum line right back here. That's good now. This vacuum line right back here. A lot of vacuum lines on this thing. It's kind of ridiculous. So now we'll just pop the throttle cable off there, and I think that's the last thing actually hooked up. That didn't take too long. And then we'll pull the carburetor off its base, just 4 bolts, very inaccessible bolts, but we're gonna get it all out of there. Then it's time to head over to Dad's shop where we have the illegal carb cleaner. I know this was the plan from the beginning. We'll go ahead and get this thing soaking, get it all cleaned up, and then we'll have O'Reilly's get the carb kit for it and rebuild this thing, and it should be good as new, which is what it truly needs here. And after that, I think we'll have it ready to drive, and we'll figure out the clutch, and she's back on the road. I guess we're gonna see this thing through to driving it, as long as the clutch is, you know, somewhat affordable and accessible. With that said, let me go grab a wrench. It looks like a 13 to pull the carb off of there, and you'll want a ratchet wrench with a flex head probably to get into these incredibly tight spaces, and then just a screwdriver to pop off the throttle cable, and that ought to do it. All right, let's see what we're dealing with here. We got our 13 flex head, and I'm hoping this fits, but honestly, this is a, oh wow, yeah, can't beat that. Oh, look at that. Honestly, they don't need to be much tighter, but you know, anybody who ever works on carburetors knows we put them much tighter. Every nut is coming right off of this thing, so we might actually have some luck here in just popping this off in a handful of minutes. It's just a 4-bolt carb, so that's always cool. This one right here is the fun one, the least accessibility, I'd say, but it's actually coming off. I think we got them. They're all should be finger loose. The tricky part here is I think we're just gonna try to leave the nuts on the carburetor and lift it straight up, because there's not an easy way to get this stuff out of here. So This one's actually going to come off, but the other ones look like they're going to have to come off with the carburetor. And then putting it back on is going to be the same. Look at that. They just go into impossible to get to spots. I'm going to loosen them all up and then just lift the carburetor straight up and hope the nuts stay in place. Oh, well, that didn't work out. Luckily, it just looks like a piece of rubber hose that's very short. So, of course, one had to break. Oh, I didn't notice this was just sitting. It's supposed to mount somewhere else. Oh, it's supposed to mount to the heater box, and the heater box is out. I see. And I think that's part of the emissions control system on this thing. It says Weber on it, so some kind of carburetor management tool maybe. And clearly, that hose right there could be causing some problems. I guess that's like vacuum supply, and it's completely rotten out and broken. One more hose here. There's another vacuum line apparently that goes, look at all these rotten vacuum lines. Every single inch of it is rotten. But I think it was working. The power brakes probably were doing power brake things. So if we can get this last line off here, we're home free. Very carefully here. One carburetor removed, and now I gotta grab all these nuts before I drop them. It is time to party. Oh, wow, have you ever seen the rubber pull the actual insert out of the carburetor before? Not to mention with a spider intact right there. But that was odd. That was odd. This carb rebuild, it turns out, is going to be a lot worse than I expected. I'm gonna tell you guys right now that this thing is complex. Way worse than I was hoping for. It looks like there's linkages for days. Just a lot going on here, but hey, we're gonna document this whole thing just so we've got evidence, and then maybe you guys do too. Also, the float bowl is still full of gas, which is always interesting. And the carburetor tag's still on here too, so that's actually very nice. I know you guys have seen that in the videos, but yeah, the carb tag right up front here on it. And this is a Weber. It's got the Weber stamping in it. And this says 8835S 466-22863, which must be a serial or something. 88 could be year, month, day. There's a good chance, 8835. And then 7H18 at the very bottom. This is very fragile because it's like pop can thickness, anodized blue, very cool. And we probably won't, we'll just clean that off with like one wipe. I don't want to actually put that in the cleaner and end up destroying it. So we'll start our screw pile here, which is going to be intense. And I think technically I've got it separated to the point where the top could come off now. But before we do that, let's go ahead and find a straight bit here. Pop these little guys off. Wow, everything seems like might be factory torque on this carb. It might be, because everything's coming off very easily. So this is some sort of vacuum diaphragm that looks like maybe enrichment, but at the same time, ooh, washer just split in half from being old. It's always good. All right, that guy just pulls out like that. There's our two halves of the washer. All right, so you can see that that is a vacuum diaphragm. Turns on and off right there. Accelerator pumps right here on the back of the carb, and then that vacuum diaphragm does a lot of stuff. Moves this little, what's supposed to be a pot right there, I assume, which is connected to the throttle. I bet that's high idle. High idle for something. Might be enrichment, might be just warm up, something like that. Obviously we gotta get this guy off of here, this little piece of hose. So, I think the best way to do that is a razor blade, and the second best way is wire cutters. So, it doesn't want to come off, I'll tell you that much. It might be a razor blade job. Hey, oh, another one. Another copper tube pulled out of the housing. That's not supposed to happen, I'll tell you that. So I'm gonna have to get pliers out, get these both removed, and then we'll get to work on How is that not coming off? Then we'll get to work on those hoses and put them all back in before this thing goes in the bath, because they should not just be pulling out like that. This is the electric choke. Now, obviously, what am I talking about? I thought that was a vacuum line, but that's electric choke for sure. I don't know what they were doing with this little solenoid or heater, but this has one of those big electric coils in it that warms up and sets the choke, and then as the car starts running, it gets released right there. So, or as you touch the throttle, it breaks it loose. That right there pops the choke back off. So this warms up when you turn the ignition on, should choke it. Who knows if it still works, because all the electrical on this car is all janky, but it might work. All I know is we've got all the screws out of this thing, and it should be coming right off. And I don't know why it hasn't yet. So let's do a little bit of prying. She came loose. Wow. I don't know if you guys saw how much prying that took. Ooh. This thing's rough inside. I'm honestly, at this point, I'm surprised. I am very surprised it was running. But first, there's a little rod here. This part of the choke reset, and I want to, oh no, I don't have to pull that off. It'll just come off. Okay, now what's holding us up? The gasket's holding us up. I don't want to tear the float, but wow. This is bad. Okay. There's our floats. It looks like the needle and seat might be working correctly. Might be okay there. Gaskets are just done for. Everything's done for. Wow. I got most of the fuel out. Look inside there, guys. I mean, we've probably seen worse, if I'm being honest. It's not the worst carburetor we've ever looked inside right there, but the gaskets are done for, and there's buildup on literally every inch of it. So let's get rid of it all. We're gonna pull every single piece down, give it all a good bath. You know that, I can see through it. I was about to say, you know that jet's completely clogged up, but I can see through it. I think a lot of this is coming from the fact that we ran a lot of fresh fuel through here, and I think I also filled the tank up with, not filled up, but I think I put quite a bit of fuel system cleaner in there, and it might have helped eat a little bit of this. Now that one's totally clogged. You can't see through it at all. And that could be idle or something. Good chance that's an idle jet. More gasket. This is kind of a tightly packaged dual barrel. It also holds a ton of fuel, which does add up with how long we were able to get this to run after we filled it with fuel. It would run for quite a while. Oh, the gunk. I said this thing wasn't bad inside, but I just took a little scrape at it. It is super thick, built up gunk. So it's pretty bad all the way through. Varnish, gunk everywhere. Even if the fresh fuel was helping kind of clean all that up for us, it didn't make it all the way. So by the end of this, we're gonna make it look new. Somebody's gonna get a nice driving Yugo that hopefully starts every time they want to take it out. That's a tall order for a Yugo, isn't it? So, hey, coming off with the quickness. Ooh. Do you guys hear that? It's this vacuum diaphragm releasing, or the accelerator pump. But that wasn't, ooh, fuel everywhere. We knew it was coming. The diaphragm's working, but it's not great. Good thing it was working, because that was mostly keeping the car running, I can tell you that. And there's also some buildup on the bottom of it there. Last of these jets, oh, that is just nasty. Totally covered in thick goo, like gelatin built up varnish. All right, it's worse than I thought. I thought this was gonna be a runner. Again, nasty, nasty, nasty. Could be putting this on the towel, but I'm not. And we'll pull these adjustments out, throttle stop here. We got to make sure this thing is very clean when it comes out of its bath tomorrow. We'll leave all this together if we can. Comes right off with one screw, and I think that's pretty much it, except for the linkages. So all we have left is the throttle linkage. I don't know if we have to pull that apart, but we might. The spacer, I doubt the spacer gets replaced. Let's see if we can see what that says. There's a gasket on the spacer too. A little phenolic action to try to keep the heat soak out of the carb. We could run a bigger spacer like the boomers do and have like way more horsepower because we got a spacer in that carburetor. Or we just change the fuel injection and have 10 times the horsepower because it's metered properly. Good old fuel injection, my favorite. All right, there's that. How do you take the float out of this thing? Can't be too hard here. It looks like you just push on the pin. But which way? Oh yeah, she comes right out. Then we'll take some needle nose here, a little bit of pull on the end. Put that in the parts cleaning pile. There's our float. I think it's totally good. Pin. And the needle and seat needs to come out too, that's for sure. Sure would be smart to use the right tool for the job, but again, everything on this is at like absolute stock tightness. I don't think this thing's ever been gone through because it works perfectly. Like everything comes apart perfectly, which is rare. So, needle and seat looking nice. It's just pure brass, no rubber seal on there or anything, and it must have been set correctly. Weber logo 150 on it, so this is all original, and I think it's all ready to get a bath. Nothing else to do here except pull the choke off. That was quick. Actually, I thought it has so many different connections, I thought it was going to end up being a really big deal, but it looks like all we have to do is pull this gasket off of here and give it a soak and throw the kit at it. Not too bad. Obviously the carburetor cleaner will help get all the rest of the gasket material off, but I am going to give it a good scrape, try to make sure we get it as clean as possible so that it cleans up quickly. Ugh. Fuel in every corner of this thing too. Under the gasket, doesn't matter where, it's got fuel in it. So the choke's the last real problem. I do want to get the choke right. And you know what, this choke was not, I actually think it might be bad because it's super stiff. But you know what? We can test that out, right? If we just give this 12 volts, it should move. So we'll use the ground. This will be our ground right over here. Let's turn on the jump pack. Any day now. Takes a little while. And then, just a touch. Nothing. It sparks, but nothing happens. Nope. I think we're gonna say that choke is dead. I also think this choke's been replaced at some point. There's a lot of trash in there, and it doesn't appear to work, and it's a Motorcraft part, which is a little iffy on a Yugo. This screw was incorrect. It's off something else altogether, and they didn't have the little ring that secures this all the way on there. So that's why I'm kind of thinking that somebody changed this and didn't quite get it right. Who knows? We could heat this coil up a couple more times just to check. Not the worst idea. I can feel the heat. Got a lot of junk in there, but I can feel heat. So there's a chance it might work. You can see the coil right there that heats up, and this is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to move this right here, and when it works, it closes the choke. So where the butterflies are closed, choke's on, choke off. It's terrible. We'll clean that up without this, without the solution there. We won't put that in the sauce. And let's go ahead and pull this pin clip right here. Get that linkage off of there. Get this linkage out of here, and that's probably, oh, one more. We got one more in here. That's probably all we need. Ooh. In order to get the choke out. That looks like it's supposed to be a fluid damper right there. I can't tell for sure, but I can only assume that that's supposed to, oh, it's a spring, isn't it? There's a spring hiding in here. And it looks like that gasket should be in the kit, I hope. So we'll pull all these screws too, give them the old shine. These are short with a bevel top, just for my notes. And the other, this diaphragm is beveled top, but long. There's our spring, there's our hat. Oh, this is a vacuum diaphragm, a vacuum reset or something. Look at that. A lot of vacuum action going on here that I wasn't expecting. And I also don't know how to remove it. It's silver screw up at the top right here, and then brass or plated. Kind of weird. I don't think it matters, but you never know. There might be a difference in these. So we'll go ahead and pop it off here. Choke removed. There's that whole assembly right there. We're gonna take this over there. I don't think we're gonna put that in the cleaning solution because there's a lot of parts inside it, but that's it. Hat's stripped all the way down. Butterflies probably don't need to come out. The sauce should make them run freely. Look, nothing on this carburetor runs freely. That should move nice and easily. The choke was definitely fighting that. So everything was gummed up. I missed a spot here. There's another diaphragm down on the bottom. Some trash coming out right there. And then of course, with this like solenoid or valve right here, just needs spun off. Don't know if this works either. I kind of want to throw some power at it and see what happens. Let's see. I just need to remember there's a crush washer right there that connects these. That is a solenoid. That could be a kick, but I doubt it because it's another thing that looks like an enrichment deal. What is going on with this carburetor? It was made for emissions. All right, these are another set of those bevel head, and are they short or are they long? We're about to find out. Long. Medium. Medium. That's the schmedium screw right there. What on earth is this carburetor build? I have a feeling if I don't mention every single part of this, I'm going to regret it as it goes back together because it's not coming apart easy. Comes right apart, but keeping track is difficult. There we go. Popped right off. Seal under here. That's looking like it's seen better days. So hopefully we can, just in case, save the gasket. Ooh, look at that. It grew. This thing has separated. It's literally, the gasoline destroyed half of it. That's crazy to see. Crazy to see. We'll put that right there. Oh yeah, it just self-destructed the moment I touched it. Well, that was all getting sucked into the engine, so that's never nice. Everything else here is the throttle linkages. Secondary's opening up, kind of cool. Yeah, let's see if you guys can see that. So primary opens and the secondary follows, and it's nice and smooth. It does, I'd say it all needs cleaned up, but it's nice and smooth, so there's something. And we've got another gasket. Oh gosh, another trash gasket. There's a jet hiding right down in here. That needs to come out, and then I think that's probably the end of our tear down. All that's left after this is just gasket scraping. I think there should be a jet right here in the front, but I've never been able to actually tell if there's something down in that cavity. Here comes this jet. Hey, there we go. It's nasty. It's got like a Vuitton seal on it. Don't know if we need to pop that off or if we get a brand new one in the kit. Be good if I had the kit already. So we might have to go pick that up just so we know what we're dealing with. And then let's see, is this a jet? Or is it just an open hole? That should be something else. And the answer is looking like open hole. I just finished scraping tons of gasket material. As you can see, we've got it ready to go in the sauce. I would say that's as clean as she's gonna get. Fuel input right over here. I do wanna note that the fuel input obviously is straight through and a very big diameter. This is mostly for my notes, but possibly for yours too. And the return is orificed. And look at that, the perfect tightness as we would expect from everything else. But yeah, the return, that's the return, goes out of the bottom, has this tiny little orifice you can't see through at all. You know what? I don't think it's clear. I can't even see a hint of light. So the return wasn't working, which is unfortunate. I thought it was. I was hoping it was at least. But that's it. Let's bag up all these parts here and go get to cleaning. I guess we have to decide if this vacuum diaphragm's getting torn down and put in there. But for now, I'm gonna make a bag for definite clean and a bag for definitely don't clean, and then we'll transport the puzzle. So for now, that is the maybe clean. And then we've got this bag here for all of the hard parts. That is the definite clean. Straight into the sauce, basically. The only thing I don't know about is that roller looks like it's plastic. So this might just get a quick brake clean wipe off or a carb clean wipe off. Everything else in here pretty much is just going straight in. Well, carburetor torn down. We've got our bags, we've got our two halves. I'm gonna go start this part of the cycle. We'll have Dad jump on here and double check what he wants me to clean out of this one. We'll see, hopefully we get a new seal for that one jet, and if we take the butterflies out or not, and then after that, we're ready to soak all of this. And obviously it'll need like 24 hours, but after that, hopefully this thing's ready to go back on the Yugo and run amazingly. That's our game plan. We need this thing to run really well, then we can chase down that clutch. All right guys, we're here at O'Reilly's. Let's run inside, grab this carb kit, and then we'll know what we need before we dump all this in the sauce. Otherwise, I'm just gonna melt the parts. Well, that was quick and easy. Thanks, bro.
Yep, have a good one.
You too, I'll see you later. Well, it looks like the right kit. Let's load this thing up in the Zero and go do some work. Okay, turns out I don't know how it works.
Yeah, this stuff here, I just blow this out with an air hose.
That
Because there's not been anything, you know, there's no gum or anything in here, and none of this needs to come apart.
And then I should just put that vacuum diaphragm back. I mean, it feels...
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that vacuum diaphragm.
Okay, all the other ones were toast.
Yeah.
But that one actually...
It's been away from the heat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'd just put this back. If you had a new one, you could change it, but that's...
I might have a new one. This kit is ridiculous.
Nothing wrong with that. What else we got here?
That's my don't clean bag.
This is just the electric choke.
Yep, coil for it.
And
oh, you know what? That's that one, isn't it? That one with that big old rod.
the one with the big rod, yeah.
That's the.
So I would change that, but you don't need to put this in the soup. Just blow it out.
Okay.
You could tear it all apart, but it ain't gonna change. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah, yeah.
That thing works fine.
Yep.
And yeah, see this is your pull off, right? That thing there's pulling that off.
But also that. So this is the throttle reset, and then this is the.
Yeah.
Okay.
None of that needs to be tanked.
All right.
That is a mess.
It's a disaster. You know what's weird? The fuel input, I think, and also some of these vacuum inputs, they pulled out with the hoses. I had to put them back in.
Yeah, so they're just pressed in.
Yep.
And yeah, this little diaphragm here, that's this little vacuum. Well, no, that's a dash pot.
That's what I thought, but it doesn't really dampen.
Well, it's made to. It does.
Okay.
When you push it in,
I couldn't tell if it was doing anything.
It probably has a little hole on one side of the diaphragm, and when you press it down, the air it goes from the other side.
Okay.
So
it's like a
it's called
atmospheric dash pot instead of oil filled.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Only in this case, there's no atmosphere. It's just transferring, a gas from one side to the other.
So, it is sealed. Okay.
It provides a little time delay so that it lets the engine come down and land on it, and then it smushes that down shut.
I see.
And that way it don't. But yeah, you want to clean all.
Everything in there is my clean pile. This stuff's rough. Look how bad it is.
Yeah, that'll all shine up.
Yes. So that should clean up just fine.
Put that in the.
Watch out, you're open.
You don't want to put. You got a new needle?
Do we have a new needle?
Surely there's a new needle.
Yeah, it's right there. There it is.
Always give
Needle
you a
and
needle
seat. It's the baton one. That one's brass and original, and it actually was probably working.
Yeah.
But just
the Viton will be
a
better unit. Now on this guy.
Should we pull the butterflies? I was gonna leave the shafts.
I wouldn't pull the butterflies. Most likely there's no seals on them. It's not like a Honda motorcycle or a Keenan carburetor where you got a seal on the shaft.
Yeah.
A little bit of air leakage here never hurts nothing because it's automatically made up for with tuning.
Sure.
At idle. And but now this.
It does it moves, and I have no idea how that comes out.
Come out.
I noticed it moved up and down.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess there's something under there. But see, all these passages here need to be cleaned. So you got to flow every one of them. There's a lot of passages on this thing.
This thing's ridiculous. It has like 30 vacuum lines connected to this car. Huh. Look at it. Like there. Yeah. This is in. This is return. Vacuum.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst carbs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But it's a Weber.
Yeah. Weber. Sure is. It's a Weber.
There's external vacuum lines that connect to another unit outside of it, right? It's really weird.
Yeah.
All the linkages run.
It's got a secondary carb on it. Mm-hmm. Boy, this thing might outrun that electric motorcycle.
I don't think that Yugo's outrunning anything. I don't think it's outrunning people.
Now, see, these have been drilled and it's kind of dumb the way they did that, but instead of putting a screw in there, they drove a plug in it. Mm-hmm. So that makes it difficult to clean them. There's another plug. So you got to but you need to set it in the carburetor cleaner. And
I messed with it and I didn't want to break it. I've seen that happen too many times. I thought it might be a push and twist. But it really does move around, doesn't it?
Oh, it's loose. I'm going to say it's got to come out. Well, you want me to break it? You can get another one, right?
I don't know. See,
be gentle.
I was gentle and it was iffy.
Be gentle.
I figured there might be a opposing screw, but there sure isn't. Oh, it's coming out.
Yeah, I can feel it coming up. It's a gasket.
Oh.
So let's get some more tools out of the pocket.
This is a nice leather workbench you got here.
Don't let your mother see this.
Okay, we'll delete it.
Yeah. Yeah, this couch costs more than your Yugo.
That's for sure.
I'm going to say that's probably got a gasket under it.
And the cleaner will.
Doubt the cleaner will get to it. But they don't even put instructions in these anymore?
No, they
what
now
a rip-off.
As soon as you type it in, every single kit's PDF is on the website.
Okay, well.
So it's not the worst thing.
You need to run the PDF. It's not going to hurt anything to put this in the soup with it in there. Shows you how long it's been since I did one of these. I don't have my phone.
That makes it easier, I guess. They got full breakdown.
See, it's just got an O-ring.
Yeah.
So that O-ring has got it glued in there.
57. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not scared.
Just pulling on it?
Yeah.
I gave it a good wiggle and thought...
Okay, hold the carburetor.
Yep, maybe it doesn't come out. Oh, it's coming out. Wow. That O-ring doesn't give up, does it? All right, that was the last real piece. We'll throw it in the clean kit. All
right. Blink.
Yeah, that's a good spot for it. Actually, I'll do this to make sure it doesn't escape.
Hey, you want to see a fun story?
What's that?
So I bought. They sent me an air compressor that the power company sent me an air compressor that opens and closes the main breakers on the power line. And so those big breakers that are out there when you drive down the road and you see the great big power station, it's got a big breaker that's air operated.
Right.
So it pumps up a tank, a little compressor sitting there running. The compressor's 10 foot, 15 foot in the air. And so they sent me this compressor over. And
broke out the bottom of the...
Yeah, the bottom. This was broke out.
Wait, they sent you this to use it?
No, they said, can you fix this?
Oh, okay.
And I said, well...
Sure, I can have a piston cast.
So there's...
Figured out.
There's
connecting rod.
So I called the company that built the compressor and said, send me everything.
Yeah.
I want a new crankshaft. This is a great story. So I said, there's the old rod.
Yep.
I said, I want a new crankshaft. I want a new rod. There's the original crank. Now, as you can see,
yeah,
I could have cleaned that up and put it back. If it was in a bit of emergency, I'd have put it back. There's one little mark right there, but I could have polished that and shoot, that just holds oil, right?
Little emery cloth.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to get rid of that. If it was a score, that's different, but a little mark like that don't hurt nothing with a little polish. So that's the original crank. It's got ball bearings on both sides. So I said, just send me a new crank. Here's the parts. So they sent me everything.
They did. Is there a whole engine in there?
There's crank number 1.
Oh, wow. Wait, crank number 1.
There's crank number 2.
What's this for a 4-cylinder? It's a V4 with a post crankshaft.
There's piston number 2. Wrong kit for the air cleaner. Rod insert bearings. There's the
Jenny,
connecting rod number 1.
Is it called Jenny?
It's a Jenny compressor. So if you can see, I had it on there.
Yeah.
I even tried filing it down here.
Oh, and it doesn't fit.
When
you have to check.
It says you torque these down to 10 foot-pounds. So I torque them down to 10 foot-pounds and
it doesn't move one bit.
Couldn't turn the crankshaft.
Yeah.
So if you take this out and look at it, and pull this bearing. Ooh. Okay, you see?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it or not, but see all this pitting? Well, this is a good one.
That's a new one, right?
It's a new one.
Yeah.
And that's a good rod.
Oh, okay.
I had some of them where I thought you could almost see through the rod.
Oh, well, casting imperfection is what you call that.
So I called him up and I said, hey, I said, I got a problem here. I said, you sent me a rod and the crankshaft, the journal. One of these I've already polished in the lathe. But if you look at that, I know it's kind of hard to see in the light, but there's a little line right here.
I see it.
And there's lines here. It's almost as if it had been used.
Yeah.
But it was a brand new crankshaft.
A reman.
So, no, see, look at that one. See how rough it is?
Yep.
And if you run your finger over there, it feels like it's semi-finished.
Oh, yeah.
That should be polished.
Yeah.
So, I called him and said, hey, you got a problem. I said, here's all the stuff I ordered, and the rod's bad. The crankshaft looks like, we'll send you a brand new one. So they sent me a whole set of brand new stuff. So I got another crankshaft and another rod. And I looked in the rod and I said, the rod don't look any better. So I called him up and I said, are you guys looking at these parts before you ship them? Oh yeah. I said, okay, well, I wouldn't sell this stuff to anybody.
Right.
Look how thin that is.
Yeah.
Right?
I was gonna say. Also, these look like the castings. Nobody leaves that much casting slag on that. Yeah, they at least give it a quick once off.
Well, so anyways, this is the best part. So finally he sends me I got a whole nother crankshaft, a whole nother rod. I think there's another rod around here somewhere. And when they sent me the pistons, they didn't. The original piston has circlips in it. See that?
I see.
This piston has a plastic pin that goes in the end. A plastic, plastic cap.
Like an insert that you tap in?
Yeah, and it taps into and it floats back and forth and keeps it off the cylinder. Keeps it off the cylinder, right? Well, I told them, I said, well, I need to buy them. So they sent me a whole other piston.
Okay.
With them in it. I just kept getting, I don't know how you stay in business. But anyways, they kept...
What are you talking about? What do you think it costs to cast?
Yeah, but they sent me all nothing.
Yeah.
But this is the best part.
3 pennies.
So finally, I get the new parts and I put them on. And after you can see where I tried filing. See, I tried filing that off because after I put it on and turn the crankshaft, I was getting polish right here. I thought, well, it's smashing the rod out right there. So I even filed the ends off of the bearings, right, so they're flush.
Yep.
Because the bearings were hitting each other before the cap hit.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that won't work. So I filed the end off. So finally I called up. I got a hold of a guy. I said, hey, I got to know what's going on here. I said, I bought these rods, I bought these cranks, I bought all this stuff, and every time I put it together, when you torque it down, it won't turn. Oh, I said, he said, every time you put it together, it won't turn? I said, yeah, that's right. He said, okay, let me tell you the secret. He said, go ahead and take the crankshaft.
He just put some washers in between.
He said, just put the crankshaft. He said, just go ahead and put it together. And he said, just bolt it all together just like you normally do and torque it down. I said, yeah, but it won't turn. He said, that's okay. Get a ball-peen hammer and smack it on each side and just keep beating it until it turns free. I said, you're joking, right? No, just smack it. And he said, hit it hard.
Yeah.
I said, you do this on brand new compressors?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we do them all like that. I said, I'm thinking, how does that survive?
Right.
I did it.
And it works perfectly?
I beat the tar out of it.
I bet.
I beat the edge of these over.
Yeah.
And by golly, it came loose, of course, because I stretched the rod out. You know?
Of course. Of course.
You know, it's like cut the size, beat the fit.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yep.
These are the leftover parts. I guess if anybody needs a crankshaft for a Jenny compressor, I got it.
Yeah.
There's a brand new set of rods. But anyways,
Crazy.
I got her done.
Huh.
They never have fixed it up. They paid me for it.
Well,
So
one of these years.
yeah, I guess when it goes down in the middle of the night, they'll be calling saying, "Can you put this compressor on?"
Yeah, we know where one's at.
Yep. All right. Well, that's all I got for you.
Cool. I'll go clean this. Well, there you go, guys. That is the remnants of half of the trash we took off that carburetor. Now it is over in the solution soaking. So in the next video, we will be reassembling that carburetor, which turns out is one of the most complex, like 2 barrels that we've ever had to put back together, I think. It just had so many ridiculous vacuum connections on it. But with that said, that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop WatchJRGo.com for cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and I will talk to you next time. We're making some progress here. We've got the MR2 finally turned around on its home stretch. The parts for that just showed up at the dealership, I heard. So we'll have an update on that shortly. And we'll have this carburetor back together. And then I guess it's clutch time, because if we go this far, we kind of have to drive this old Yugo. You rode the Livewire, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah, see what you think about this. It's honestly not as fast as the Livewire, that's for sure. I prefer the Livewire in every way, but this is fun. It's like a dirt bike.
Where's the clutch?
Yeah. Squeeze the clutch whenever you want. So just give it the gas and it should be ready to go by now. Yep. Okay. That's it.
Don't ride like a Cushman.
No, it has insane torque if you roll into it. It will not wheelie no matter what. Traction just stops it.
Well, it's a pretty balanced little bike.
Yeah, and it makes really cool noises as you ride away. It sounds like you're in Tron. That noise is insane. If you guys wonder why I still own that bike, that's why.
Oh, that thing goes.
Doesn't it?
Wow.
And nobody knows you're flying because it's quiet enough.
60 miles an hour is instantaneous.
Yep. It doesn't have much more though. Like you can hold it wide open. It'll go 106 for a few seconds and then it backs out.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing's fun.